Okay, let's unpack this. We're diving into a stack of articles today, and they really zero in on a major challenge.
Right, for the traditional European automakers.
Exactly. Those big names, Audi, BMW, Mercedes,
Yeah.
and, well, the Stellantis brands, too. Fiat, Peugeot, Citroën, Opel. Even Ford's European side gets mentioned.
Yeah, the source material we've looked at, it's squarely focused on this huge shift, the electric vehicle transition.
And where the sort of long-standing European auto industry actually fits into all that.
Or doesn't fit, perhaps.
Right. So our mission here is really to pull out the main arguments, the key insights from these sources.
And they definitely paint a specific picture, don't they, about where things are now and what the future might hold for these giants.
The perspective that comes through, it's pretty pointed, actually.
It is. There's this strong sense in the articles that European brands have just been too slow.
Too slow, too hesitant, maybe, compared to others.
Exactly, compared especially to competitors, like Tesla, obviously, but also the companies coming out of China.
So here's where it gets really interesting, according to these sources. They argue that while some were building completely new EV platforms,
Imagining a totally different kind of car.
many in Europe, well, the sources suggest they were still very focused on optimizing combustion engines.
Right, meeting those older emission standards, Euro 4, Euro 5, Euro 6, that whole progression.
The argument is that, well, precious years and a lot of resources got tied up just perfecting the internal combustion engine.
Instead of making that fundamental pivot to electric.
Yeah, and the sources frame that focus on combustion standards as a critical
A
misstep,
distraction, essentially.
one that cost them valuable time. And they're pretty direct about what that can be,
Very direct. They make a bold prediction.
which is
The view that Chinese cars could actually see significant dominance in the European market.
dominance. Wow. And soon.
Surprisingly soon, yeah. Some articles are talking potentially within the next 5 years.
5 years,
Yeah.
that's really close. And why? What's the reasoning?
Because these Chinese manufacturers are seen as being able to produce cars that are perceived as both better and much more economical.
Better and cheaper than current European offerings.
That's the claim, yeah. It's presented as this potential upheaval. Some sources even use the word demolition.
Demolition of the market position held by brands we've all known forever.
Exactly. Brands like Fiat, Peugeot, Citroën, or the German giants, BMW, Mercedes. It's a stark forecast.
Yeah, when you think about the history, the sort of cultural weight of those brands.
The sources really highlight how vulnerable that legacy might be in this kind of rapid tech shift.
Okay, so given this pretty challenging outlook that the articles present, do they mention anyone doing it right? Any European company maybe navigating this better?
Yes, actually. Amidst all that concern, there's one specific name that pops up.
Oh.
The sources point towards Renault, specifically under its manager, Luca De Meo.
Ah, Renault. So they're seen as potentially being, better positioned? Making smarter moves.
That seems to be the implication, yes. Compared to the others we mentioned, like Stellantis, BMW, Mercedes, Audi.
So the overall feeling is worry for many of the big players.
Right. Considerable doubt about how well they'll fare.
But Renault gets a specific mention as maybe having a clearer path, or perhaps a bit of a head start in adapting.
Exactly. There's a kind of cautious hope expressed that Renault might navigate these tricky waters more successfully.
Okay. So what does all this mean for you, listening to this perspective from the sources?
Well, it definitely challenges you to think about the cars you might be seeing on the roads, maybe even driving in just a few years.
And how much that familiar lineup of brands could potentially change? Dramatically, it sounds like.
And it raises a really important question. One, the sources bring up themselves using some powerful historical analogies.
Analogies, like what?
Well, they point out that deep historical success, a reputation for quality, it wasn't enough to save iconic companies like Olivetti.
With their typewriters when computers came along?
Precisely. Or Nokia, remember. World-leading mobile phones, totally dominant.
Until the smartphone wave hit them?
Right. So if that history didn't save them,
then these sources really push you to consider, could the same sort of disruptive fate potentially await these long-standing European car brands?
despite their rich legacy, their engineering history, are they facing their own Olivetti or Nokia moment in this electric era?
Definitely a lot to think about regarding the future of cars as we know it.